Namaste.
Namaste. My name is Pavel Shatsky. I'm the commercial director for Solar Group company. Today we have a great day. We are opening a national representative office in Nepal, and we had worked hard for this day, and at last it is here. I would like to introduce you to our national partner in India and now of Nepal, Mr. Birdi Gulshan Kumar, and tell about his achievements and why you are so lucky to have him. In the end of 2019, we had opened a national representative office in India, and the investment was as it is in Nepal, just getting started. And now India is in top 3 list in investments, number of investors, and in number of partners who are earning together with us. And all of this is because of one person and his big team. From our company, we would like to give our thanks, gratitude to Mr. Birdi. And we have trusted him our next task to open an office in Nepal. And we are confident that he will develop this beautiful region. Next, I'll be passing on my word to Mr. Birdi, and he will tell you everything in details. Please do listen to him and do take the right decisions. Mr. Birdi, I would like to congratulate you and announce officially that our national representative office in Nepal has been opened. I wish you good luck. Namaste, everybody. I am Mr. Birdi. I would like to thank Mr. Pavel Shatsky, who had put his trust in me. And those who know me, I am Mr. Birdi. And for many last years, I've been working with Solar Group. I've been the national partner for India and Italy.
मैं आपको बताना चाहता हूं जो आज का कॉन्फ्रेंस है वो एक बहुत ही अहम है हमारे
I would like to tell you that today's conference is very important for our partners in Nepal and for other countries who are listening to us, who are watching us today. So I would like to give you a small brief of last 4 years, what the company has achieved, what was its vision, what is its vision. So the main thing is the air pollution, the cars that run on petrol, on gas, on diesel. So our main goal is to promote electrical motors so that we can tackle the global warming because of the air pollution. And we are always looking out for new partners, investors, investments, and for clients for these motors. And this is why we are opening this office, so we can promote our main goals. So Mr. Pavel Shatsky, Mr. Pavel Filipov, and another colleague of ours, Mr. Anand Roy. And we will also have an engineer, Mr. Viktor Aristov. He has a company in China. He's producing these electrical motors, and not only the motors, the transport as well.
नेपाल के लिए भी बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण रहेंगे, क्योंकि नेपाल में भी टुक टुक इलेक्ट्रिक टुक टुक अगर आता है तो काफी समस्याएं कम हो सकती हैं। तो आप
So in our previous webinars, you must have seen these cars,
कुछ
these transports,
बोट यानी कि
auto rickshaws. So we would like to bring these auto rickshaws into the Nepal market as well.
जो दुनिया में तेल के कारण या अन्य चीजों के कारण दिक्कतें आती हैं, उसका हमने समस्या का समाधान ढूंढा हुआ है। और साथ ही चलते हैं, आप लोगों ने देखा होगा कि पिछले
So basically, with our technology, we have found a very good solution for this problem of air pollution, of carbon monoxide, which is produced because of the petrol
लोग बीमार होते हैं,
engines.
मैं भी खुद देख कर आया हूँ कि मुझे मास्क पहनकर घूमना पड़ा था 2019 में, तो कोविड तो अभी आया हुआ है। तो इन चीजों पर अगर आज हम
And
नहीं
this air pollution is really bad for people's health. So we do need to tackle this problem as soon as possible. And this is a good opportunity to tackle the problem, to invest your money and grow with us.
साथ साथ हमारे लोगों के लिए जो नए आर्थिक जो कार्य खुलने चाहिए, क्योंकि अगर देश में कोई कंपनी आती है, वो वहां पर अगर अपना प्रोडक्शन या कुछ भी अगर रीसेल या बाय का भी काम करती है, तो वहां काफी देश को फायदा होता है।
So once the company opens and we bring our products, this is going to benefit the Nepali market, the Nepali economics as well, because this gives jobs as well. If somebody is interested and opens a factory for producing our motors, that will give employment to Nepali people.
उनका मेन गोल क्या है और हमने पिछले सालों में क्या किया और आने वाले सालों में हम
So I would give you a brief history of what we have done and what are our goals for future.
आप लोग ये जो YouTube का हमारा जो चैनल है, समय आप तय कीजिए, नीचे कमेंट में लिख सकते हैं कि कितने समय में अगर आप 500 लाइक इस चैनल को दिलाते हैं तो आपके लिए
So you can see we have a YouTube channel. So if you help us to get 500 likes, you will be rewarded. We'll have a gift ready for you.
जरूर पहुंचाएंगे, क्योंकि ऐसी जो कंपनियां हैं या ऐसी अपॉर्चुनिटी है, ये बहुत मौका मिलता है।
I would like to emphasize that this is a very golden opportunity. You should listen to our representation seriously. Namaste to everybody. Thank you to Nepal.
New investment package at a discount of the old one until September the 26th inclusive. If you purchased a package of parts earlier and have already completed the installment payment on it, you can make a new investment package at a discount of the paid. This allows you to buy many more parts than other investors in the project can buy for the same amount of money at the current stage. If you have not yet closed the current installment plan, you must first make the remaining installment payments to take advantage of the promotion. Dear friends, hello everyone. My name is Pavel Filipov. I'm head of advertising and public relations in the company SOLARGROUP. I welcome you at our online broadcasting. Thank you to Pavel Shasky and to Birdi Kumar for their presentations, and I congratulate Birdi and his team for a successful opening of representative office in Nepal. I'm sure that you will be able to repeat your success that you had in India, that you will have the same success in Nepal. I wish you luck. And we, the SOLARGROUP team, we will always be ready to help you and to answer all your questions. And let's attain our objectives all together, and let's achieve spectacular results. My task today is to tell you what Solar Group is and to tell you about the project Duyunov Motors. So get seated and ask your questions at the end. At the end, we will have a Q&A session where I will answer all your questions concerning the project Duyunov Motors and the company Solar Group. So let's start speaking about Solar Group. What is it? Solar Group is a financial company of a new generation which works on the market of collective investment. Collective investment is a business model when, on the one hand, there is a big group of investors who want to invest into promising business projects, and on the other hand, there are their business projects which need investment. Solar Group's task is to connect those two parties and to give them what they want. People will have an opportunity to invest, and business projects will receive investment to realize their business ideas. The essence of crowd investing is that people who invest into business projects get profit in the future from those business projects. So they are real investments, despite the fact that usually entry into such projects is with a low threshold. Today, crowd investing market is one of the most rapidly growing investment areas in the world. Figures speak for themselves. If we look at figures starting from 2010, we will see that crowd investing market doubled every year. In 2017, when the project Duyunov Motors and the company Solar Group started, crowd investment market was $50 million a year. In 2023, when our investors are to get their first profits, crowd investing market will be about $300 million a year, which means that just in this period, during this period, the growth of this market will be more than 10 times in less than 10 years. There is no other area which is growing as fast. Experts have also calculated that by 2030, the market of crowd investment will be something like $2–3 billion a year, which means that it will be a fully fledged investment area, and no private investment will be able to imagine their portfolio or their set of projects without a crowd investment one. That is why today a lot of companies are competing to be number one on this market, because those who are leaders on this market today will remain leaders when this investment area becomes one of the leading ones in the world. Banks, investment funds, they all create their own crowd investing platforms today. However, I can tell you with pride that today Solar Group is one of the leaders in this area. And let's see together why. This is that Solar Group made investment available for ordinary people. People used to not have access to such investment, but Solar Group made it possible to invest for any person, anywhere in the world. Because minimal investment in our project is just $50, and this is accessible to almost anyone in any country in the world. Also, to invest, you just need internet connection and a computer or a telephone and 5 minutes of your time, and then you become an investor of our company. We sign a solid legal contract with each investor, and your investment is protected solidly, and you can get your documents either electronically or in paper. But even if you have questions, even if something remains unclear, you can always address our client service, where you will get consultation and any questions you might have will be answered. Solar Group makes investment for people not just simple, but also accessible and profitable. Today, our projects provoke a lot of interest, and again, figures speak for themselves. Today, more than 300,000 people take part in our projects from more than 150 countries in the world, and new investors come every day. Of course, people see such interest and a lot of projects get in contact with us and they want us to speak about their business to our investors, but we only select the best projects from various areas. We pay attention to different criteria, such as finished technology, a finished, well-verified technology which has all patents, all studies, and which is already used in practice. Secondly, it should be a clear business model. We need to understand how the project is going to make money for itself and for its investors. We also look at a team, at their team. It should be experienced, and we also look at the ecological nature and scalability and scale of the project. Solar Group selects projects not just guided by the principle whether we can earn money by following this project. No, we also take into account what can the project give to the world. We select projects that can generate profit and that can also improve the world we live in. One of the projects which managed to get through our serious verification is the project Duyunov Motors. We'll soon present other projects for you to get acquainted with them, but today I want to speak in more detail about the project Duyunov Motors. I want to speak about the team of developers who today, together, headed by the engineer Dmitry Duyunov, create the most effective motors in the world. Let's now speak in more detail about this project, and I will tell you what are its particularities and how you can earn money by participating in this project. So, to start, let's answer the question, what is the project Duyunov Motors? Duyunov Motors is a project which promotes the technology of combined winding everywhere in the world, and this technology, even today, allows the team of the Russian developer Dmitry Duyunov to design motors of a new generation which are successfully used in different areas from electric transport to industry and agriculture. In order to build a business there, capacity is needed, and such capacity is created within our project. I'm speaking about building an innovation center Sovelmash. This is an enterprise where Dmitry Duyunov's team will be able to design electric motors of a new generation for different clients, for different tasks and objectives, and of course earn money doing such developments. It can be very different clients: electric transport, industry, agriculture, aviation, military area. I think that it would be easier to say which areas would not be able to use this technology. And of course, that to build big business, investment is needed, financement is needed, and such financing is attracted within our project using collective investment. Each of you can take part in this project, get a part in this business, and become a co-proprietor of Sovelmash company. Let's speak about all of that in detail. And first of all, let's speak about the technology of combined winding Slavyanka. When we speak about this technology, we will speak about the motors that use such technology. They are the so-called induction motors. Today, 80% of all electric motors in the world are induction electric motors. They are the most universal ones. They are the most reliable ones. And they are quite cheap. The cost of production is quite cheap. 80% of all motors are induction ones, and there are more than 10,000 types of different induction motors, which are used in electric transport, in industry, in home appliances, in military, aviation areas, in shipbuilding, and so on and so forth. If we look at the construction of this motor, we will see that it has winding, which is done by two traditional classical methods. It's either the star method or the delta method. And here we see the innovation of the engineer, the developer Dmitry Duyunov and his team. They managed to combine both windings within one motor, both the star and the delta. They were combined in parallel, and such winding is called combined winding Slavyanka. What did this innovation bring to the motor, and why do we call such motors electric motors of a new generation? They are not just words. Such motors, of course, have a lot of advantages over their competitors. For example, this is economy of electric energy. Such motors save up to 40% of energy over their competitors, and this is proven in theory and in practice. The second thing is cost. Such motors use 30% less of copper and steel, and in place of 3 motors, we can make 4 of them using the same material, the same raw materials. The third thing is reliability. There is a thing which is called service factor. Usual motors have the service factor of 1.2, 1.3, and Slavyanka motors have the service factor of 2.5, which means that they are 2 times more reliable and then can work twice as long without any failures, and there is no need to maintain them, to service them in a particular way. There are also other advantages. You can see them on our website. There is all detailed information there. And I would also like to speak about another advantage. This is classes of energy efficiency. And this topic concerns all of us, even those who do not take part in the project Duyunov's motors and who will never do that. Why? It is because we all live on the same planet, and we all depend on the ecological situation which we have on our planet. There are a lot of factors which influence the state of our ecology and which deteriorate it every day. One of the most deteriorating factors is uncontrollable generation of electric power. During generation of electric power, water, soil, air are polluted and other damage is done to our planet. Also, in order to generate this energy, a lot of hydrocarbons are burnt, which leads to global warming and changes in the climate on our planet. It would seem that in order to prevent everything I'm speaking about, it would just be enough to stop generating energy. But how can we do that? This is almost impossible in today's world, because the main consumers of electric energy are electric motors, and without electric motors, all the progress on the planet would just stop. Production would stop, vehicles would stop moving, we wouldn't have home appliances, and things that we're used to and which we cannot live without would just stop existing. And today the only solution and the only possible trend concerning ecology is saving energy. And this is the answer to the question: how for motors to consume less energy but to produce as much energy as we need? And to answer this question, a scale of energy efficiency was created where E0 is the minimal value and E4 is the maximal value. What do we see? Most motors have the class of efficiency E1, E2, which means that they do serious harm to our planet. At the same time, the motors, which are today designed by Dmitry Duyunov's team, have the highest class of energy efficiency, E3, E4, which helps solve the ecological problem which we are all facing. Indeed, other companies also try to create the same motors, and they do create motors of the class E3, E4, but today no company has managed to get close to the results that Dmitry Duyunov's team has, because their motors and the competitors' motors are often 10 times more expensive and much bigger in their size. That is why Dmitry Duyunov's developments attract so much attention of people all over the world. A lot of companies pay attention to the technology of combined winding Slavyanka, and people want to take part in this project because they understand that here they can earn money and also change the world for the better. This is what we are doing. Some of you will ask, how can you confirm what I have said? What are the proofs? You know, there are a lot of proofs that suggest that the technology does work. There is a huge technological base. First of all, there are patents for this technology. There are dozens of them. You can see all of them on our official website, and you can check that they are valid in independent sources. The second thing is studies that were carried out on motors with combined winding Slavyanka. What is important to note here? These studies were carried out in different parts of our big planet. They were carried out in Russia, in Europe, in Asia. And so we can say that such studies are objective, because all of these laboratories confirmed efficiency of the technology of combined winding Slavyanka independently one from another. It is important that you can see the results of these studies yourself, and you can check for yourself that what I'm saying is true. All the results are provided on our website and are all available. Of course, I understand that we cannot say that a technology is well finished if there is no practical experience of using it. Of course, we do have experience in using the technology of combined winding Slavyanka, and it is huge. Quite a long time ago, Dmitry Duyunov's team understood that it was important to demonstrate all the possibilities of this technology to the wide public. And so the so-called licensed winders appeared. They are companies and individuals who service electric motors. And they got the right to commercially use the technology of combined winding Slavyanka. In other words, when they repaired their clients' motors, they did not just offer ordinary servicing to them, but they offered to them to modernize their motors and to apply combined winding to their motors. When the client agreed, they got a motor with combined winding, and the licensed winder got some money for that, and some of that money was transferred to Mr. Duyunov for the ability to use this technology in commercial purposes. What is important for us there? These licensed winders who got the right to commercially use this technology, today there are more than 100 of them all over the world. They are still working, and in years of their work they modernized dozens of thousands of very different induction electric motors, which are used in various areas and for various purposes. And by their work itself, they proved the technology of combined winding to be effective. They proved it in practice. Of course, in order to promote the technology, in order to demonstrate the opportunities of this technology to the wide public, it is important to also show some final product. For ordinary people to see that the technology is effective, and such final products were of course created by Dmitry Duyunov and his team. And particular success was achieved in the area of electric transport, and now let's speak about that in particular. The first thing I would like to speak about is Duyunov's motor wheel. This is a unique development and one of the most famous developments of Dmitry Duyunov. Why was it so successful? It is that this is the first electric motor in the world, induction motor, which was done in the form of wheel motor. You will see there are already wheel motors. They exist already and they are used everywhere in the world. Yes, but this is another electric motor. This is done on the basis of very different technologies, which are well under Dmitry Duyunov's technology. What we are using today is the so-called BLDC electric motor, which has constant magnets inside. It has its own construction and its own particularities, and it is all way below Mr. Duyunov's development. Why? First of all, this is the price and affordability of these motors. Today, BLDC type wheel motors are only produced in China, because only China has raw materials in order to produce constant magnets, which are used in BLDC electric motors. As a result, today these wheel motors BLDC type cost a lot and they are not very accessible. At the same time, Duyunov's wheel motor does not have these disadvantages. The main components in these motors are electrotechnical, steel, copper, and we can produce a lot of such wheel motors everywhere in the world, including Nepal. thus offering jobs and creating production on the territory of Nepal. This will be a cheap wheel motor, which can be produced in any quantities because it does not have any expensive or rare components. Speaking about reliability, I want to remind you that induction motors are one of the most reliable ones in the world, and a wheel motor is not an exception here. So it is much more reliable than what is done today in China on the basis of BLCD motors. The third thing is capacity. If we take two wheel motors, one is BLDC, the other one is Duyunov's one, they will look very similar. But BLDC motor will have the capacity of 2 to 3 kilowatts, and Duyunov's motor will have the capacity up to 20 kilowatts. You can calculate the difference by yourself. Today a whole series has been developed. There are wheel motors for electric bicycles, for electro scooters, and of course a wheel motor for electric vehicle, for an electric car, which widens a lot the opportunities of this one development, wheel motor. And of course there have been many more such developments. And if we continue to speak about electric cars, we can speak about Renault Twizy, Renault Kanga. They are electric cars where a motor with combined winding was placed, which had been developed by Dmitry Duyunov's team. And they did not use a wheel motor, but a more traditional solution. And Duyunov's motors have proven to be very good, and the motor which was installed in Renault Twizy showed better results than motors from Renault company itself, which proves that today Dmitry Duyunov's developments are well over developments of leading automobile producers. This is just a fact. Of course, there were developments in other areas of electric transport, public transport, for example. They placed combined winding motors there as well. I'm now speaking about trolley buses, for example. After an electric motor with combined winding was placed in a trolley bus became more effective, so it started to consume less energy, and it also became more dynamic, more rapid. And this is another demonstration which shows us what Duyunov's motors can do in public transport domain. And this is important because public transport is used everywhere in the world. Another interesting specimen was done in the area of electric locomotives. They are little trains which transfer cargoes in mines, and before it could pull 5 wagons, but after an electric motor with combined winding was placed there, it could pull 11 wagons, which means doubling of capacity. This is a great example of where combined winding motors can be used and what results it shows. Of course, very different motors were developed, not only in the domain of public transport. Today we are speaking about this mostly because it is more understandable for most people, and you can assess what combined winding technology is capable of. Of course, general industrial motors were also developed that are also very promising if we speak about business. As of now, motors with combined winding and electric transport I was speaking about, they are not just words. Today this is reality. You can buy motors with combined winding or buy the ready-made vehicle which is equipped with a motor with combined winding Slavyanka. You can buy a motor from the company Sovelmash on their official website, or you can buy it from partners of Sovelmash, for example from Viktor Aristov, who has his own series production of electric motors with combined winding in China. You can buy both motors from Viktor or transport equipped with such motors. By the way, today you will see Viktor's presentation. I'm sure that he will speak about everything in detail himself. So I have tried to tell you briefly what is technology of combined winding Slavyanka and what results we have managed to achieve. Of course, the way of Dmitry Duyunov was much longer, and the technology of combined winding was used successfully for the first time in 1995. Then the team developed the technology, received patents, carried out studies, created the first motors, applied the technology to practice. And it was all done with their own money. At some point, they understood that the technology did not need further development and verification. It was working. On the other hand, there were a lot of clients who came to speak to Dmitry Duyunov and who asked to develop this or that motor for them. And Dmitry Duyunov was saying, I can make such a motor for you, but I don't have capacity to do that. That is why it was decided to create an enterprise in order to be able to fulfill the orders that Dmitry Duyunov had already received. We all know this enterprise as Innovation Center Sovelmash. And construction of this enterprise is the main task within our project. And of course, at the beginning, Dmitry Duyunov wanted to have investment from an investment fund or from big companies. But he did not manage to agree with them on that, because at the stages when a new technology is just being born, usually giants do not invest in them on partnership relations and agreements. Usually huge companies just buy little startups, little companies, and then use them in their own developments or freeze them. They use them as they want. In essence, it means just selling a company, selling a technology, and Dmitry Duyunov did not want to do that. He decided to develop the technology himself. On the other hand, it was clear that a big community of people were gathered around the technology and they were ready to support it. At the same time, the crowd investment mode was developing actively in the world, when people could support something and could become investors by getting together and providing the necessary sum of money to the project to realize it. And this is the way which was chosen. Crowd investment was chosen, and it was decided to attract the necessary funds and investment for constructing this enterprise through people's investment, bypassing banks, financial institutions, and other intermediate parties. And now we see that this step was the right thing to do. We see that everything is developing actively, and we are happy to welcome you in our project. Now, let's speak about what business is being created and what business we suggest that you take part in. Within the project Duyunov's Motors, we are creating an enterprise which is called Innovation Center Sovelmash. This is a company where Dmitry Duyunov's team will be able to develop different motors for different clients using the technology of combined winding Slavyanka, of course. Let's look at some examples. For example, a producer of electric cars needs electric motors for their new electric vehicle. They come to Sovelmash company, they provide all technical specifications, and Sovelmash develops an electric motor for their electric vehicle. This is quite simple. Then, producer of electric vehicles takes all the documents and starts to use their own capacities or their partners' capacities, and they start to produce the necessary amount of electric motors per year. Of course, some of you will say that there are other companies which do the same thing, which develop electric motors. So the question arises, why will clients come to Sovelmash and not to another company? This is simple. Sovelmash, by taking the same money from clients as our competitors, will develop not just electric motors with classical technologies, but Sovelmash will be able to develop an electric motor of a new generation with the same money, and it will be well over what other companies are producing today. Even now, Sovelmash has already signed a huge number of preliminary contracts. As soon as the enterprise will be ready and will be commissioned, Sovelmash will be able to fulfill its first orders straight away, and it will earn money straight away. The question rises, how much can it earn? What amounts of money are we speaking about? Generally, development of one electric motor costs $50 million. Sovelmash will be able to do from 1 to 3 developments like this per year. And it's interesting that marginality in this business is more than 70%. And we can say assuredly that it is very profitable to do such business, and it is very profitable to invest in such business. So let's finally speak about how you can take part in it and what we offer to you as investors. I have already said many times that we attract investment into our project by collective investment. It means that any person can become an investor anywhere in the world, and such investment is accessible to almost anyone. Minimal investment in our project is only $50. And in order to make an investment, as we have already said today, you just need a computer and internet connection. Even by investing $50, such a little sum of money, you still become a co-proprietor of the business I am speaking about now. All investors, irrespective of the amount of their investment, become co-proprietors of the enterprise. Of course, everyone will have a different share. If you invest more, your share will be bigger as well. But investing any money, you become a fully fledged investor. Today, you get a share in the company for your investment. Relations with you are documented by an investment contract, an appendix to the investment contract, and each investor will also get a certificate stating how many parts he or she has, what to do with these parts. After the end of financing the project, the parts that you got will be exchanged for shares of the company Sovelmash. And at this moment, you will become fully fledged co-proprietors and shareholders of the investment center Sovelmash, and you will be able to get part of profit from this business. So, how can you get profit in our project? There are two main ways. You will already be a shareholder. You will have shares of the company. By owning the shares, you can earn money in two ways. The first way is to sell your shares at a bigger price than the price you bought them with, and the second way is to get dividends for your part. So, how to get these two types of profit? Today, you invest into the company with a big discount. You buy your parts with a discount. Today, you get something which will be much more expensive in the future at a much lower price. It's like investing into a startup. You invest in a company which is just starting. Very few people know about that. And then you sell the shares of this company when that company is at the top and when everyone speaks about that. And you can do the same thing here. Today you buy a little part in the company, and then when you get shares, the company Sovelmash is planning to have IPO. This is the process when a company gets to stock exchange, and during the IPO process you will be able to sell the part of the company which belongs to you. Of course, no one will force you to sell your shares. You can capitalize your part and you can own the shares as long as you want. We see that the shares of any successful company always grow. They have a tendency to grow. Shares of many companies in the last 10, 20, 30 years have grown 10 times, 100 times, and some of them 1,000 times, which allows people who invested in those companies right at the beginning to be dollar millionaires today, legally and understandably, being investors. Moreover, if you don't sell your shares, if you continue to capitalize your share in the company, you'll be able to get a second type of profit. This is dividends. Dividends are part of profit which the company distributes among all co-proprietors and shareholders of the company. And as you will be one of such co-proprietors, you will get part of those dividends. This is great passive income that you will get from the profit and the successful business of the company Sovelmash, and with years it will only get stronger and stronger. It will all move forward, and the company itself will become more scaled, and it will have more and more influence on the market of electric motors. We don't have any doubt. Just imagine if you had invested in the company Apple, let's say 40 years ago, when Apple was just beginning to grow You won't believe it, but from that moment, the price of Apple shares has grown 68,000 times, which means that if you had invested $1,000 in Apple 40 years ago, today you would have $68 million on your bank accounts. This is real. This is reality. And companies such as Apple, there are many of them. Because any successful company always has growing capitalization, and those who believed in success of such companies at the right moment gain a lot from that. And today you have the same opportunity to buy a share in a promising company which in 10, 20, 30 years will become a leader on the market of electric motors all over the world. And we see that this offer interests a lot of people. A lot of private investors all over the world join the project. As I have already said, more than 300,000 people take part in this project today from more than 150 countries, and new investors are joining every day. Today we are opening the 16th National Representative Office. This time this is in Nepal. Before we had 15 representative offices, as you could guess. These are countries, these are regions where our project is developing in a particularly effective way. Today we have national representative offices in Europe, in Asia, in Latin America, and we are continuing to gain strength there. Thanks to those investors, today the company has already done a lot. And we have managed to achieve spectacular results. Let's speak about them. And we have things to share with you. First of all, as of today, the first working capacities of the company Sovelmash are well equipped. I'm speaking about the laboratory, where today there is work on the technology of combined winding Slavyanka, on electric motors with the technology of combined winding Slavyanka, where new patents are received and all other activities necessary for the company are carried out. This is also a testing site where Sovelmash today produces motors with the technology of combined winding Slavyanka. They are casting, wiring shop floors, and very soon we will have new capacities, which will be a production line where Sovelmash company will be able to produce up to 12,000 electric motors with combined winding per month. Thanks to realization of the first stages of the project, the company Sovelmash has capacity to modernize the technology, to continue developing the project Duyunov's motors, and of course to communicate with potential clients and customers. But of course the main task of our project is construction of the Innovation Center Sovelmash, and we have things to share with you here as well. The Innovation Center Sovelmash will not be built in a random place. It will be situated on the territory of a state special zone, Technopolis Moscow, Alabusheva, site number 16. In order to get the permission to have construction on the territory of a special economic zone, first it is important to become a resident of this special economic zone, which the company Sovelmash did in 2019, after our project was considered as important, viable, and essential for the economy of our country and for the world. Our project was supported at the state level, after which we became residents of the special economic zone. What does this residency give? This is a site to build our innovation center, and the state provided that land for free. This is also tax benefits which we will get being residents of the special economic zone, which will allow our business to develop more actively, especially at the beginning. This is also infrastructure we can use, such as railway, electric lines, roads. All of that is also needed to develop the enterprise successfully. And of course, staff that we can attract to work in this innovation center. Residency in the special economic zone will also allow to us to attract clients and customers, which is also useful for future activities of the enterprise. After we became residents of the special economic zone Technopolis Moscow, we started active preparation for the construction itself. First of all, it was choice of a general contractor, preparation of the site for construction, but the main part was to get a permit to construct our innovation center, which the team of Sovelmash did in 2020. I can tell you straight away that that procedure was done successfully, and we got the permit to construct our innovation center in November 2020. We got an official authorization from State Expertise Agency and Federal Surveillance Agency. All those agencies gave a positive feedback and gave the permit to continue construction, which proves the professionalism of Mr. Duyunov's team, and it also proves that Sovelmash is well in line with all standards, norms and laws. After we got a permit for construction, the company Sovelmash started the active phase of construction. First, a construction camp was made. They are temporary buildings, little buildings necessary for construction itself, and then the main phase of construction started. First of all, construction was not that spectacular because work was done with foundation, but now you can see what our innovation center looks like already. As you see, the main work on foundation is already finished, and there is now active phase of constructing the building itself, the framework of the future building, that is. As you see, the main framework of the building will be made of metal constructions, and then panels will be fixed on those metal constructions, then floors will be poured, slabs of concrete floor will be put between floors, there will be windows, there will be doors, the roof, and very soon we will see the totally closed box, so to speak, the framework where heat will be supplied. We are planning to do it in the months to come. As you see, construction is very active, and construction is done along several axes. This is construction itself, and the results of construction are already visible. The second thing is buying the necessary construction materials. All the materials are bought in advance. Why? Because as soon as they are needed, builders will be able to use them for construction. Thus, we don't have any delays in expectations of construction materials necessary for the construction. The third aspect is buying of the first equipment for the enterprise. The first batch has already been bought, and very soon it will be delivered into the company Sovelmash. First of all, it will be installed on the current areas of Sovelmash, and Sovelmash will start using it straight away. As soon as the innovation center is completed, that equipment will be transferred to the territory of the innovation center. And as you can see, there is work on all the axes. Thanks to that, currently we are totally in line with the delays of construction announced at the beginning of 2020. And I congratulate you on that. And I'm sure that it will remain this way further on. Our first and main goal in construction now is to complete the building of the box, of the framework of the building itself, with all the windows, doors, the roof, and to have heat supply by the beginning of the winter. In the next several months, what you see now will look very different. The building will look almost ready. And then we will get to the work inside. This is decoration work, installment of equipment, and all the necessary internal works. We are planning to finish this work during the first half of the next year of 2022, and in the middle of 2022 the enterprise which you see now will be completed. About a year remains until the moment when the enterprise will be completed and commissioned. Then it will accept the first orders and will start to earn money. As you see, completion of the project Duyunov's motors is not a very long-term perspective. The project is already at the completing final stage, and everything which is left today is just to complete construction of the enterprise. For that to happen, all of us, the community of people who support this project, need to continue intensify our work, to continue investing into the project, to continue financing the project with the necessary amount of money for construction to continue. And we are doing that. We are doing that now. As I have already said, we do everything timely, in a timely manner. Everything is done in a timely manner, and I'm sure this is the way it will continue. Despite the fact that the project is almost completed and the project has almost no risk, you still can take part in it. And you can take part in it by the conditions of the 16th stage of financing. Very soon the project will get to stage 17. The exact date of getting to the 17th stage will be announced. And at the 17th stage, the conditions of investment will be different. Just keep in mind that now is the best moment to invest in the project. Moreover, today, for citizens of the Nepal, there is a series of promotions which will allow you to invest into the project at a new level, at a more profitable level. Today, there are promotions for novices and for the already existing investors in Nepal. Novices will be able to buy investment packages by the conditions investment stage -1, which means that you will be able to buy a package by the conditions of the 15th stage. And also those who are watching this broadcasting will get a promotion code, and you will get +5% to the package you will buy. Also, there is a possibility to restore your installment payment if you have already bought a package and you stopped paying for that, and you will be able to restore it without any limitations. And you will also be able to buy a new investment package by the same conditions you bought your first package with. Please keep that in mind. Such conditions will not be repeated within the project. Again, if you want to invest into our project, if you want to become part of it, today this is the best moment to do that. On this, I will finish my presentation. I hope that I have helped you to understand what Solar Group company is and what the project Duyunov's Motors is. I know that you have a lot of questions, which is normal. Right now, write your questions in the chat. Today I will present again and I will answer all the questions which interest you. And now I want to give the floor to a person who is developing the project not just by words but by actions, and he is developing the technical part of the project. This is Viktor Aristov. He is partner of the company Sovelmash. He is the person who has serious production of electric motors in China. He is general director of the company ASPP Weihai. And today he has various projects on the basis of the technology of combined winding Slavyanka, and he is developing this technology all over the world. Let's look at Viktor Aristov's presentation and see you later.
Добрый день, уважаемые друзья, партнеры.
Good afternoon, dear friends, partners. I welcome you at this conference. Those who don't yet know me, my name is Viktor Arestov. I am General Director of the company ASPP Weihai, and I produce electric motors, mostly for electric transport. I have a license of ASPP Moscow. I am a license holder, and I have been working in this project, in this status, from 2011. I started back in Germany. I popularized this technology, I ran tests, I demonstrated cars at exhibitions in Germany, in Monaco. What you see now is what was exhibited in exhibitions, and different tests were run to draw people's attention to this technology and to find clients for this technology. I also did a lot of work to test and to show wheel motors of size 318, Duyunov's wheel motors, famous and known to everyone. They used to be called Kolobok, after the name of a Russian fairy tale. I showed them at exhibitions in 2016, 2017. I showed electric bikes, such as a carbon bike and a bicycle of German origin, which was produced by Elmoto company. This is a company which was interested in those wheel motors. All clients wanted us to provide them with those motors. They liked those motors. They liked those indicators. They were really great. The maximal speed we could reach went up to 120 kilometers per hour with voltage of 48 volts. But all clients mostly wanted us to provide kits, not only the motor but also controllers. The controllers we were using back then were Curtis controllers. They were expensive, and everything turned out to be very expensive for bicycles. We did not have production back then. Dmitry Duyunov wanted to open his own design bureau, and at the beginning he wanted to produce small batches of motors, of electric motors. That is why we arrived at that solution, because without the existing product we would have never found any clients, any consumers. In 2016 I went to China. I organized the first tests there, and I saw it for myself. After tests, people liked our motors, but they were expensive, and we did not have our own production of motors. That is why we could not provide motors ourselves. We had to look for clients, and they only agreed to buy those motors. That is why in 2018 I set up my own company, ASPP Weihai, and I started to produce motors for electric vehicles. I was a license holder. I held a license from ASPP Moscow. You can find all these motors and controllers for them, transport vehicles which use those motors and those controllers. You can find them on our page on the internet, aspp.asia, and you can look at their parameters, and if you are interested you can contact me. I totally support the area that our partners are developing. I totally believe that our partners will be able to sell the things I produce in China. They asked me to tell you about the news, and the main news which concern you mostly as investors, they are news connected to Sovelmash. I am living in China, and I look for components for future production. As many of you have heard already, as you know already, equipment to launch serious production of pilot batches of Sovelmash motors was ordered, and I was responsible for ordering equipment for production lines of Sovelmash. That equipment was sent to Moscow, but as the situation in the world is not stable currently, prices for transportation in containers grew tenfold, starting from the beginning of last year or starting from the summer last year. And there are now big delays of containers at different stages, especially in ports. And our container is expected soon in Moscow with a big delay. The next piece of news. This is what you have seen already. Dmitry Duyunov presented that news at different webinars, at expert time. Many of you have heard that motors are now being developed to be used in manual machines, in manual equipment. And as for search for components and angle grinders and trimming saws, this is what I do in China, among other things. Not everything will be bought in China. Work is also being done concerning Russian enterprises. Our task for the near future is to produce pilot batches of this equipment and to show its advantages, to show the advantages of using our motors, our technology in this manual equipment. All the West has now prohibited collector motors, and most companies are now using this equipment with BLDC motors. And the decision to use our equipment, induction motors, according to the technology Slavyanka, will allow to make production of this equipment cheaper. And at the same time, it will allow to decrease size of this equipment, its weight as well, which will make work with this equipment more comfortable. And it will also improve technical parameters of these tools. What you see behind me is motors which have already been bought for testing. And these motors are now rewound in Moscow by Sovelmash, and they will be installed in different types of manual equipment. Then tests will be run. There will be testing of original motors, of original angle grinders, and of original trimming saws, and they will be compared to the same equipment, but with our motors in them. I think this is a big piece of news. This is something that many investors have been waiting for. And this step will show that we are not just building all the time, we are not just preparing the theoretical base and that we will only develop things and look for clients at some point in the future, we don't know when. No. This year already we will try to produce the first batches of this manual equipment and show the advantages of our technology. Many investors supported this enterprise, and many of you know that now a very important stage is going on, the stage of building a design bureau, and it requires a lot of financing, a lot of costs. And in order to finish some construction work, such as thermal isolation and connecting everything to engineering services, it is very important because we need to start winter with all such work done, and work needs to be done inside the buildings where there is thermal isolation. That is why the flow of investment is really important. Construction requires a lot of money. a lot of finance. That is why I hope that the step we are making now and releasing of this manual equipment will show that this technology is really functioning and that it will inspire many investors and will attract new partners, new investors who will see that this technology is already well operating, well functioning on the market. We will be able to sell the final product, which will be released according to our technology. I think that this is all good news, and I hope that all of that will make you joyful. Please spread information. Please attract people who might be interested in that. Please show all of that to your friends. Show this technology and just be active. Spread your knowledge about this technology. Attract new partners. And I wish all of you luck and see you later. Thank you for your attention. Promotion -1 stage. For those who are buying an investment package in the project for the first time or are unable to close the current installment plan in the near future and take advantage of a special offer. Until September the 26th inclusive, there will be a promotion, according to which citizens of India will be able to get a new investment package at a discount -1 stage, that is, on more favorable conditions of the 15th financing stage of the project. Let's say a big thank you to Victor for his presentation. It was very interesting. I'm happy that he's developing his area of work successfully, and let's wish him luck. And now we will show you a little video. We will show you how Birdi Kumar went to visit another person who is developing the project Duyunov's motors and the technology of combined winding Slavyanka all over the world. His name is Andrei Lobov, and he has things to share with you. He has things to offer to our investors and partners. Let's look at it and see you later. Good afternoon, friends. My name is Andrei Lobov. Me and my company, we develop electric kit sets for different equipment, and we mainly use motors with combined winding Slavyanka. And today I will show you this equipment, and I will show you our new development. An electric kit which is installed on the tricycle Bajaj Maxima. Recently our partner Birdi visited us. He drove this equipment, he used it. This is mostly Bajaj company equipment, Bajaj Pulsar and Bajaj Maxima, and he liked it a lot. Dear partners, look. What is part of this electric kit? A box with a controller and with all electronics. A battery part with the battery. The motor itself. Here it is. Here it is. It is light. It is elegant. A motor with combined winding Slavyanka. It is installed. Here it is. For you to see it. Here it is. Here is the motor. It is installed here. On this support. Here is the support where the motor is installed. On this support we install the charger. The charger is put on this support, and here is the plug for the charger. We see the plug for the charger, the battery, and the charging device itself. What else is part of the kit? A handle, the original handle, which is installed in place of the existing one. Here it is already installed. The previous one is taken out and the new one is installed. That's it. And here we put a sensor, the so-called coulometer, which indicates how much charge is left. The kit also comprises a very interesting thing. which is a solar panel. Solar panels and two controllers for each of these solar panel. Friends, what else would I like to say? You see the open battery section here. Here it is covered with a lid, and here there is no lid. Why? Because I want to show you that this battery for 50 ampere hours with lithium phosphate cells, it is put into this case. We are now developing a case which would be slightly bigger, and then we will put lead cells here. We will need 5 such lead cells for our motor. Why have we decided to test an accumulator with lead cells? Because our solar panels allow to go without charging the tricycle, almost without charging it. It does not need this powerful battery. You know, with the speed of 20 kilometers per hour, the tricycle does not use the accumulator at all. What else would I like to tell you? All the kit is installed on the equipment without a saw and without any welding. Everything is installed in original places on the framework. Everything is put there carefully. It is all screwed with bolts to the places which were already done in the plant. And another machine produced by the company Bajaj. This is called Pulsar. 200 cubic meters motorcycle. We uninstalled a motor and we installed an electric motor with combined winding in its place. You can look at it from the other side. Here it is. Here is this motor. Birdy, some time ago you had a go at it, and there was a little problem with the belt in the speed reduction gear. We managed to eliminate that problem. Now it accelerates from where it is. There are no problems with the belt. It does not stall, and so on. What else is there? An electric box with a battery section is there. A speed reduction gear, controller. Everything is done with a lot of quality. Design was adapted to what Pulsar creates. This is a very ecological machine which allows to go without noise, without smoke, without smell. And what else do I like here? Here, where you put fuel, a charging socket was designed. Here is how you use it, and you can plug it. You can charge it, and then you can continue your movement. Very comfortable. Okay, those who had a go at the electric transport, it is difficult to make them go to vehicles operating on gas. Electric vehicles almost require no servicing, no maintenance, and they are so easy to operate. Even children can do that. I will show it to you. I like it so much. It is so easy. We just turn the key. We turn on the mode forward. Here is the neutral mode. Here is the forward mode. And we begin our journey. Equipment is very convenient to use, to operate. Bajaj company really did well, and they created a very good plug. And it turns almost on one spot, and you can leave it from this side, from that side. Now, let's make some conclusions. We have elaborated a kit for Maximo, which is installed within several hours. And actually, one person can do that. The kit is very successful. The equipment is very rapid, very agile. It accelerates very quickly. It can transport up to a ton of cargo with this motor. Please call us, please write to us. Write to us on our Telegram channel. Here is the name of our Telegram channel. Here is our email address. We are looking forward to your proposals. Birdie, it will depend on you at which speed these kits will reach our partners. And then we will be able to hear feedback from people how amazing, how great this kit is, and how good our motors with combined windings are. Restoring the installment plan. Did you get an investment package in installments, but did you not complete payments on it, and was the installment cancelled? You can restore it until September the 26th. To do this, write about your intention to the technical support chat, indicating the par value of the package and the date of its registration. The installment schedule will be restructured, and you will be able to pay by the new schedule on the former conditions. Great report, friends. You see that the technology of combined winding is not just investment, it's not just words, and it's not only theory. This is a very well-functioning product which is already there and which you can and which you should develop. Thank you for this report, and we are moving on. I welcome everyone at the conference. It's a big honor for me today to have an interview with our guest who visited Moscow. Namaste. Please present yourself and say a few words about yourself. Hello everyone. I would like to say thank you to everyone who is watching this webinar now. My name is Anand Roy. I'm from India. In 2019, I learned about this project via one of my friends. In 2019, there was a conference in India. I went to that conference and I learned more about the project, and I started to collect more information about it. As you all know, this is a unique technology where there are two types of windings. It is a combined winding, and it allows us to have unique results. Why am I being so sure in what I'm saying? In my last job in India, I was an electrician. And I assure you that this technology will help solve the problem of pollution and will generally help nature. Understanding all of that pushed me to work with this company. A short time ago, you visited Moscow, you went to the construction site, and you talked to Sergei Semyonov and to Dmitry Duyunov. Tell us about what your goals were when you were visiting Moscow and what your impressions were. Of course, I will be happy to tell you about my visit and about my meeting with Dmitry Duyunov. You know, there is a formula, triple P, PPP, and I use this formula when I work with projects. The first P means project, the second P means product that exists within this project, and the third P is payment, the payment that they offer. And when I came to Russia, I saw that triple P, I saw all those Ps, and I saw that everything was just as I had imagined. I saw that the innovation center Sovelmash is indeed being constructed in a special economic zone. I saw how quickly everything was done, especially under surveillance of Mr. Duyunov. I talked to him personally and he told me that the project will have been completed by 2022. He also told me that they wanted to complete the exterior framework of the building and then proceed with the interior work. He told me that the development of motors and producing motors will happen inside the building. He told all of us that all the money that they received went directly to construction. He said that there were also some other things that money was used for and that we will see what it is several days later. He said that he was going to expand Sovelmash in other countries. And there were other personal things we discussed in our dialogues, but I would prefer not to share them with you. I also talked to Anton, executive director, who was there. During the meeting, he told us about further actions within this project. Mr. Pavel Shasky also spoke about further actions. And I'm very grateful to him for having given us tokens of love, so to speak. I also talked to Pavel Filipov, head of advertising and public relations. He told us how to work with our teams, how to move on, how to promote the project. I also talked to Julia, to Leila, to Alisa. They told me as well how to move on with my team. You know, we see things on the internet, we read different documents, papers, the news, but what I saw with my own eyes confirmed what I had seen in news and on the internet. So here are the two first P's I mentioned: the company's profile, that is the project itself, and the product. I saw all of it with my own eyes. I also met other partners from other countries. For example, there was a woman from Colombia. And you know, she's also very active, and we all work together on the same project. I talked with other partners and we discussed a lot of issues, in particular how to promote the project, how to work better and how to do it in the nearest future. And finally, I would like to thank Birdi Kumar, India's national partner. The badge that you see there, you know, it was his own badge, and then he just took it off from his clothes and gave it to me. And he has done a lot of work here, and I will always remember his work. I respect a lot his way of thinking, what he does, how he thinks, and what decisions he makes. I respect how he solves problems, and I respect his actions. And I'm so proud that I work with these leaders, with these partners who can achieve so much. What else can I say? Every day the project is gaining momentum, every day it is growing, and we can see it in the videos that are uploaded on websites regularly. We also had a very important meeting with the CEO of the company, Sergei Semyonov. He signed documents to open a national representative office in India, and he transferred those documents to us. It proves that this company has good and honest intentions. This company wants to expand not only in our country but also in other countries. I'm very thankful to Solar Group for being able to solve my problems and for being able to talk to the management directly. That is why my motivation is really high. I am really excited and I am eager to continue working on this project. Mr. Anandroid, which conclusions did you make after everything you saw and heard? You know, I wanted to see whether the project was actually real, and I saw it with my own eyes, and there is no doubt left. And I would like to promote this project. This company allows you to work and to have an income, and you don't even have to invest in it for that. And there are no limits here. For one, I earn from $1.5 to $2,000 a month thanks to this project. But you know, there is no limit. What you earn depends directly on how much you work. This company provides you with all the materials that you need for work for free. Besides, if you invite someone new into the company offers you 200 parts for free, and it offers the person you have invited 200 parts for free as well. This is a unique technology that helps solve problems concerning pollution, pollution of air, and so on. I would like everyone to work with this project. Those who are watching this webinar now, please keep in mind that you can give 200 parts for free to your family members, to your friends, to your acquaintances, to anyone. We need a new era. That is why we need to start working with this company. Thank you, Mr. Anand Roy, for your kind words and for your great answers. I want to remind you that any partner or investor from India or from elsewhere can come to Russia, can come to the construction site and see for themselves what is going on there and talk to people from Solar Group, because one of our fundamental principles is transparency and honesty in our relations with our investors and partners. Mr. Birodi will tell you personally about the conditions and how to realize all of that. And now I want to say goodbye. I want to thank you for your trust, for your time. And now I want to give the floor to the next speaker. See you very soon. I hope that very soon we will open a representative office in Nepal. And then we will fly to Nepal to be present at the opening ceremony. As you see, the project and the technology of combined wiring Slavyanka is developing in a dynamic way, and we are achieving incredible success that many people did not believe in, but we managed to do that. Of course, this success was achieved due to many factors. First of all, the technology of combined wiring itself. It is very interesting and promising. Secondly, this is professionalism of Sovelmash team and of Dmitry Duyunov, who managed to begin and develop such a serious project and such a serious technology. But the main contribution into developing the technology of combined winding and the project Duyunov's motors was made by active people who are promoting this project. I am now speaking about partners of Solar Group. They are people who are building business together with Solar Group by promoting the project Duyunov's motors. Who are partners? And what is a partnership program? Partnership program is a form of mutually beneficial business interaction between the Solar Group company and active people who want to promote projects from Solar Group company and who want to earn money doing such activities. Today, partnership programs are quite a common way of interacting. Partnership programs today are used by all financial institutions, banks, investment funds, brokers. They are also used by insurance companies. Today, partnership programs are used more and more by more traditional businesses, such as marketplaces that buy different goods. Marketplaces like eBay, Amazon, Alibaba, and others. They all use partnership programs. Why? Because a partnership program is marketing of the 21st century. This is very effective marketing when a company pays for the result, which was achieved, in fact, by the partner. And Solar Group does the same thing. In the framework of the partnership program, any partner has a possibility to share information about the project Duyunov's motors with his or her friend, colleague. And then, if that person becomes an investor, the partner will get a compensation in the form of referral fees that can be withdrawn as money or which can be invested in the project by buying an investment package. I want to draw your attention to the fact that we have a multi-level partnership program. And this allows to get compensation not only from partners you have invited personally, but also from people that they invited in their turn. It allows to build a huge partnership structure and get a passive income without any limitations. The advantage of our partnership program is that it is very easy to begin and it is accessible to almost anyone. To become a partner, you need to sign a partnership agreement in the back office and you can start making your first steps straight away. You need to take your referral link and transfer it to your friend. When he or she registers using that link, that friend will be invited to the project by you yourself, and if that person makes an investment, you will get a compensation. For you to be able to start in an easier way, we have some useful functions, for example, the functionality of a present, where you cannot just invite a person, but give a present to him or her in the form of 100 investment pots. In this case, your friend, having registered in the back office, will get 100 investment pots of our project for free. And you yourself will also get 100 investment pots. It is very pleasant to give such a present, and it is also very beneficial for yourself. For those 100 pots to remain forever with you and with your friend, you and your friend need to get through a verification procedure for us to understand that you are real people. In this case, these pots will be with you forever, even if you and your friend don't make investments into the project. According to our statistics, 20% of people who get presents become investors after all. This is a great way to start your investment activity. Just give this present to 10 of your friends. As I have already said, according to our statistics, 2 or 3 people will become investors even if you don't tell them anything about the project. They will get interested in it themselves. Today, Solar Group Partnership Program is more relevant than ever because it allows you to work not only offline but also online. You can do it without leaving your place, just using a computer for your work, placing information about the project in social networks, or organizing online meetings online via Zoom, or organizing different webinars. All of that is accessible now and very relevant in today's world. If you have questions, you can always address our client service, and our specialists will always help you if you have questions. You can also address other partners who are more experienced, and they will also provide answers to your questions. For example, you can address the person who invited you into the project. Most probably this person understands more and will be able to answer your questions. Also remember that you can always address Birdi Kumar or Anant Roy. They will always give you all the necessary information if you have questions concerning investment or concerning the partnership program from the company Solar Group. Please note that our partnership program can be the main activity for you because it allows you to gain quite important money with that. We have partners who earn $100,000 per year, or it can be some supplementary source of income. You can just do it in your free time. Talk to your friends about it, and you will have some additional money to complement your main activity, and you can also invest this money and buy more packages, investment packages, thus increasing your investment activity in the company. Today, the partnership program allows us to work everywhere in the world. Irrespective of which language you speak, you will be able to get advice from the chat, you will be able to find people, participants who speak the same language as you, And as you have understood, we already have 16 open national representative offices where work is particularly active to promote the technology of combined winding and the project Duyunov's motors. And now on your screen you see national representatives who are one of the strongest partners. And you can always address them for advice. And now we have another new national representative office in Nepal. And I congratulate all of you again on this event. And I invite you to be actively participating in the project Duyunov's motors and to develop this project in Nepal. Join our project, and I urge you to join it as active participants, as active partners, as people thanks to who the project will get the necessary financing, and thanks to you, active partners, this technology will be present in Nepal, and you will be able to use it on the territory of your country. Remember that the partnership program helps you not just earn good money together with SOLARGROUP, but active work and active cooperation with SOLARGROUP gives you a possibility to contribute to marketing incredible and promising technologies, such as technology of combined winding Slavyanka. This is not just an activity, this is a real mission. And this is the activity which you will be proud of and which you will talk about to your friends. The company SOLARGROUP is the company that you can work with and that you can trust. 2020 and 2021 were quite difficult for business and for the whole world. Many companies were closing. Many enterprises were dismissing their employees and were running at a loss, but not SOLARGROUP. Even in the difficult times we're living in now, SOLARGROUP is increasing its results. We are moving forward. We are setting new records, and we have proven that we are not there for a short period of time and that we are not there at random, that our business model is very effective and it is able to develop a company even in the times of crisis. Today the company SOLARGROUP is a big financement company which has many departments, which allows us to work effectively. This is an IT department responsible for the back office and for websites. This is content department and marketing department responsible for the news that you see on your screens and also for this broadcasting. This is also client service department that you interact with when you ask this or that question. And of course, partnership network department responsible for developing partnership network in all countries where we have participants of our project. We now already have spectacular results and we are developing actively. Let's look at how the company SOLARGROUP was growing. For example, at the end of 2017, the company SOLARGROUP had 20,000 participants, 2,700 investors and 700 partners who were earning money together with SOLARGROUP. At the end of 2020, we had 280,000 participants, 33,000 investors and 10,000 partners who earned together with SOLARGROUP. In the course of several years only, SOLARGROUP grew 15 times by all main indicators. The number of countries grew 2.5-fold. Why only 2.5? Because there aren't as many countries. In 2017 there were 72 countries participating in our project, and now there are almost 200 of them. As you see, growth is really rapid, and you can just imagine what results SOLARGROUP will achieve 3 years later or by 2030. In 10 years' time, that will be a totally different company, and our goal is to become not just a leader of the market of crowd investing. Our task is to become one of the leaders in the financial sphere. Solar Group will be a big international company that all key players of the financial world will take into account. And, dear friends, we will do it together with you. I suggest that we do it together. I suggest that we do this breakthrough together. Now, one of the main tasks and goals of Solar Group is to complete financing of the project Duyunov's Motors. Investors will get their first profit, and we will start financing a new project from the company Solar Group. It means that investors will be the first ones to invest into our new project, and partners will be able to continue to work within partnership program by promoting a new project from Solar Group. To be one of the first, please follow the news. Please be present at our broadcastings. And please take part in the project Duyunov's Motors. Dear friends, I hope that today we made a step forward. I hope that now you understand more what the company Solar Group is and what the project Duyunov's Motors is. And I believe that the beginning of active work in Nepal has been done. I say thank you once again to Birdi and to his team for opening a new national representative office in Nepal. I wish you luck. And all the investors and partners from Nepal, I tell you hello and see you at the next broadcastings. And we're not finishing yet. There is one section left, a Q&A session. And if you want to get an answer to a question, stay with us. We will spend 30 minutes approximately answering your questions. Moderators have collected the main questions. Some of them repeat themselves. I hope that we will be able to answer all the questions that interest you. And let's get to this session. 5% discount on the new investment package payment. The discount is available until September the 26th inclusive by the promo code you received by email after registering for the conference, and it is combined with other promotions. Are you not planning to use the promo code? Share it with a friend who wants to invest in the project. Okay, dear friends, we are on air again, and I have a list of questions in front of me that our moderators have selected. I hope that all the topics which are of interest to you will be covered. There are a lot of questions, maybe we will not have time to answer all the questions, but they are all grouped by meaning, by topic, so I hope that we will cover the main topics. Let's get to the first question. Please tell again about all the promotions and special offers for Nepal. Let's go through what promotions we have today. Promotions which will make your investment as profitable as possible. First of all, we have promotions for new investors. If you have not yet invested into the project, you can buy a new investment package with a discount -1 stage. We are now at stage 16 of financing, and you can buy a package according to the conditions of the 15th stage of financing. If you have come to this conference and if you have been registered, then you got a promotional code. You can use this code and get a bonus plus 5% when you buy a new investment package. Please pay attention to that. If you are an existing participant, then there are other profitable conditions for you as well. You can buy another investment package according to the same conditions you bought the previous one with. If you want to increase the volume of your investment in the project in the most profitable way, this is the right moment. Then, if you had an installment payment plan and then you stopped it, then I am now speaking about the fourth promotion. You can restore your installment payment plan, the so-called amnesty, and you can do it without any further limitations. So please restore your installment payment plan and continue to pay your installments for your package, not to lose the conditions. As you see, you can now invest in a very profitable way, and both novices and those who are already investors can do it. Please grab these opportunities. We will not have such opportunities in the future. Everything is done for you, dear investors and partners. Is it known how long construction of the Innovation Center Sovelmash will take? Yes, there are a lot of questions concerning when construction will be finished, whether it is known. I will answer it once again, once for all. We are not just planning when construction will be completed, we actually know it for a fact. When we started construction, our general contractor provided us with a plan of building the innovation center where there was detailed information when and how each stage will be completed, and we showed that plan to all investors and partners. You can see what it looks like. First of all, now we are totally in line with this construction plan, and we are moving in line with the schedule, which is great, and I'm sure that it will remain this way in the future. According to the plan of construction work, this year we will finish building of walls, of the roof, windows and doors. Starting from next year, we will do interior decoration work and we will install equipment. And in the middle of the next year, we will have completed construction. We are not just planning or hoping, we are sure, we know for sure when the Innovation Center will be completed. And after that, it will be commissioned and it will start earning money. It will start to be profitable. The project is at its final stage and there is very little time left for construction. Is it possible to buy a motor with the Slavyanka technology now? Yes, of course, this technology is already accessible to everyone. You can buy motors with combined winding directly from Sovelmash. For that, you should visit their website, the appropriate section. And Slavyanka technology motors can also be bought from partners of Sovelmash, for example, from Viktor Aristov, that you have seen today at our broadcasting session. You can buy motors or electric transport with combined winding motors from him. Please address him, don't be shy, and please leave your reviews about your experience of using combined winding technology motors, and remember that this technology is now conquering the world. How transparent is the project Duyunov's motors? What guarantees do investors have? Look, first of all, guarantees. First of all, each investor has an investment contract and appendix to that contract, and a certificate where it is stated how many parts belong to you as an investor. This is legal protection, which is at the appropriate level. Then, SOLARGROUP operates in line with the British law, financial law, and this is the most reliable law in the world, finance-wise. If there are any disputes ever, they all will be solved legally. Things are fine in this respect. And there is the team itself. Both Sovelmash and SOLARGROUP teams have a name. Many of people know them by many projects. And there has never been a situation when people from Sovelmash or SOLARGROUP team mistreated someone or did not fulfill their obligations. The team's reputation is 100% ideal, which is important. These people can be trusted. You can work with such people. That is why I think that this is the reason why so many investors and partners trust this SOLARGROUP project. Speaking about transparency, everything is fine as well. Sovelmash is constantly going through different audits and verifications. The last one for 2020 was carried out recently. At the beginning of 2021, there was an audit for 2020, and its results were published You can look at them and you can see conclusions of that audit verification. As for events happening within the project, they are broadly covered. We try to speak about everything in the news or at broadcasts like this one. Our investors and partners are always in the know of what is happening inside the project. We try to be as transparent as we can. We try to answer all the questions. And maybe this is the reason, among others, why so many investors and partners trust us in very different countries. When will investors get profit? According to the plan, next year, in the middle of 2022, the enterprise is to be completed, the building is to be completed, and the first profit is to be received approximately in 2023. And in 2023, we are planning to pay the first dividends. There is very little time left waiting. Dmitry Duyunov was speaking about that at different broadcasts. If you buy parts of the company now, then in 2023 you can expect getting the first profit. What stock exchange will be used to trade shares of Sovelmash, and is everything ready for IPO? It is still early to have an IPO procedure because the enterprise needs to start working at full capacity, but all preliminary work was completed to have the IPO procedure quickly in the future and to prepare this procedure quickly as well. So preliminary work has been done, and I think that we will be able to get to IPO quite quickly. As for the stock exchange where Sovelmash shares will be circulating, this is still a big question. Why? Because Sovelmash shares can be assessed differently at different stock exchanges, and we will be at the stock exchange where Sovelmash shares will be evaluated in the highest possible way. This is still an open question, but most probably it will be a Russian stock exchange or a British stock exchange. We will announce it slightly later. By and large, there won't be a big difference for our investors. Now our legal scheme and stock exchange, they operate in such a way that people from all countries can buy and sell shares of any company. We will act in the interest of our investors. We will go where we will be evaluated in the best way. When will there be new projects from Solar Group? There is now very active work on searching and selecting new projects. We are in contact with a big number of developers. We look at a big number of different technologies, and there are several candidates that in the future we can launch as new projects, just as we launched Duyunov's motors some time ago. We will announce it. I think that soon you will see the news about that, so please follow the news to be able to be the first one to invest in those projects. And if you are a partner, then you can be the first one to be able to earn on that within partnership program. Very interesting projects are being prepared now. I would really love to talk about them, but it's too early. When will an office be opened in Nepal? We have plans indeed to open an office in Nepal, but it will be opened dependent on two factors. The first factor is coronavirus. When the situation will be easier and when we will be able to open an office, we will get back to this question. As for whether it will be opened or not, a lot depends on you. If people are active in Nepal, if there are many investors, many partners, we will surely open an office there. So, dear friends, too early to relax. We need to move forward towards realization of the project, and if people are active in Nepal, an office will be opened there. What will happen to the project after financing is completed, the project Duyunov's Motors? After the end of financing and the end of construction of Sovelmash, the enterprise Sovelmash will start its work, and it will gain profit for itself, and it will share part of its profit with investors. Of course, Sovelmash is going to expand, to increase the company, to increase its influence, and gaining profit, of course, because it is a commercial enterprise. Speaking generally about what Sovelmash is planning to do, this is building of different production facilities, which will be placed in different countries and produce different motors. One of the production facilities may be placed in Nepal in case there are interested people ready to develop such production and then to commercialize it, selling these motors. If you want the technology of combined windings to appear more quickly in Nepal, if you want to launch such a production facility in Nepal, please address us. We will put you in contact with Sovelmash, and I'm sure that we will find points of contact in order to develop the technology of combined windings in Nepal more quickly. I also admit that Sovelmash may have recourse to investment. It will be announced later if such a decision is made. In any case, we as investors, we want the company to get its first profit, and the whole team of Sovelmash is aspiring to that now. I don't think that much time is left until this is realized. Next, where to find patents and studies which prove effectiveness of the technology Slavyanka? As I have already said, all such documents are placed on our official website in the section Technology. You can find patents and studies there, and you can see for yourself that the technology is 100% real, that there are a lot of patents for this technology, that all studies confirm effectiveness of the technology of combined winding Slavyanka. Please study it, everything is in open access. Now, have we yet not lost the moment to invest profitably into the project? I think that the moment is not lost yet. Of course, conditions now are not as attractive as they were at the very beginning of financing. But we need to understand that at the beginning of financing, risks were also very different. Now, to my mind, the situation in the project is really unique. There are almost no risks. We have gone through all the important milestones where things could go wrong. And now it's like final straight line. We just need to finish construction. I think that there are no reasons why something could go wrong. And now you can invest in quite a safe way. And investment conditions are still very attractive. There is this very good link, very low risk and still very attractive conditions of investment. And I think that it generates the most interesting investment conditions. Please pay attention to that. And now, only for citizens of Nepal, there is a series of very profitable and interesting promotions which will make your investments even more profitable. Please keep that in mind for your investment to be ever more profitable. What plans does Solar Group have after Duyunov's Motors project is over? As I have already said, Solar Group is a financial company. And Solar Group's main task is organizing financing for business projects. As soon as we complete work with the current project, we will start financing of a new one. I have already told you today that we have several very interesting technologies and very interesting projects in mind that are really capable of revolutionizing many industries in this world, and we will definitely present them to you. You will be able to invest in them, and we, Solar Group team, we will be ready to promote those projects and those technologies. This is what Solar Group is planning to do after financing of Duyunov's Motors is finished. So please keep track of that in order to invest into those projects or to promote them, to develop them within partnership network. program. You know, cooperation with Solar Group is not just for 1 year or for 2 years. We are planning to have this cooperation for dozens of years or even for your whole life. If you partner with Solar Group for your whole life, you will attain financial results that you aim for, and you will have spiritual joy from understanding that you have helped appear a lot of new technologies and innovations in the world. Please advise how to start working within partnership program. You know, when people ask me what to start with, it is very important to remember that it is very important to be part of the team. If there is a person who invited you into the project, write to him or to her. I'm sure that this person will help you understand things and will help you promote the project. Also remember that there are national representatives like Birdi Kumar or his team. You can also address Roy's team with your questions for him to give you advice. As for what I personally think, I would start with the functionality of a present. Please use this functionality. I have already spoken about that in detail. Today you can offer 100 investment pots to your friend and you can gain 100 investment pots at the same time, which is profitable both for you and for your friend. And if after that your friend invests, then you will also gain a supplementary referral compensation. There are no drawbacks here. It is very important to act and everything will be fine. Where to look for information, where to find information, and how to keep track of the project. You know, we have a lot of resources. You can find them in back office. There are a lot of news and so on. Visit our website. We have Sovelmash website, we have Solar Group website, and we also have the website of the project Duyunov's Motors. Also subscribe to our networks in any social networks that we use, that you use, Facebook or Telegram. There are different chats in almost all messengers. Just subscribe to all of our news, YouTube as well. It will allow you to get the latest news related to the project, which is very important not to miss some important news. When will financing of Duyunov's Motors finish? And this is the last question. We need to understand that financing of the project, you know, it's not that someone will do it in our place. It's not that someone will work and then we will get financing more quickly. No. Crowd investment, collective investment is a form of interaction when result depends on all the participants. If all partners of Nepal get together and work actively on promoting the project, then the project will get financed more quickly. If we all relax and just wait for the project to complete financing itself, then it will take much longer. Our goal is to finance the project Duyunov's Motors not later than in the middle of 2022, but we need to understand that the result depends on all of us. If we work harder, then I'm sure that at the beginning of 2022, the project will get all the necessary financing. It will get financing this way or another, but if we don't make enough effort, it will just take longer. Dear friends, I urge you not to relax too early if you are an investor or a partner. Don't forget to pay your installment payment plan. Continue to attract new investors to talk about the project. If you are a novice, then join us. This is a very interesting project which changes lives of big numbers of people, and soon it will change life of our whole planet. We only need to make a final dash. The project is at its final stage, and let's together do it. I'm sure that we will succeed in everything. We have done a lot. This has been a long way, and we have done it together. There are just several final steps to make. Dear friends, join the project Duyunov's Motors. Be active. Like this broadcast, repost it. And see you at the following broadcast. Thank you so much for your attention, and see you at the next conference. Bye, everyone.